8 for Mamelodi Sundowns. This season alone, they are able to walk away with a 2-0 victory up against ABC Motsipe League Limpopo side Stream A, which is Mpheni Home Defenders. We look at this encounter over 90 minutes, Jabu, but what you do see is the resilience that came through from Mpheni Home Defenders. And one could say possibly, had it been a team that has more quality, more experience than a team that plays amateur football, they could have been able to find a couple of goals against Sundowns this afternoon.
Yeah, very true, V. That's why Mpheni Home Defenders. Defender. But overall, jokes aside, yeah, I think second half they did at least give a better performance. Mpheni Home Defenders. Joba usho ukuthi Sundowns kunama error wayenzile. Few errors where if they were playing against maybe a team able to go Betway Premiership, they were going to be punished. But because of lack of quality, they got away with it. I was very disappointed kakhulu futhi namhlanje goalkeeper Onyango. He looked like akafuna ukudlala man, because ama-pass bekawanikeza ama-defender bekabafaka under pressure. Njengoba sishilo sithi it was a very good learning curve for Mpheni Home Defenders, but very disappointing performance overall, especially second half for Mamelodi Sundowns with the quality that they have.
And you look at that second half, and we didn't see any solid opportunities coming through from Mamelodi Sundowns. But perhaps you speak to what Jabu is saying and the fact that there was a little bit of casualty, and almost one could say it was just Onyang was saying it's opposition.
So you're playing against a team that knows you so well. They watch you every weekend as you play. And you're playing against players that really they know how to play football in terms of structure and in terms of how they defend in their league. But I felt like Sundowns played in their hand in some instances where, they didn't shift the ball quicker. They didn't make sure that the last line is working, because we saw that they've got, in as much as they're defending so well, they had some faults there and there. But I believe that Sundowns could have at least tried to expose those weaknesses that they have. But with the goals that you scored, I believe that you go in for that opportunity to say we're through to the next stage.
And this is a story that the stats tell us in this encounter. Mamelodi Sundowns with 8 goal attempts, 5 of those being on target. So just a single more shot on target than what they had in the first half. And from Mpheni Home Defenders, once again, 7 goal attempts, much more than they had in the first half, which was 3, and only a single one of those on target. And of course, this is a team that hit the crossbar twice in this encounter. In terms of that ball position, more possession for Mamelodi Sundowns from 63 to 69, and Mpheni with 31. You look at these stats, once again, just confirming and showing us the difference in quality between these two sides.
Yeah, it was a nice match, to be honest, especially for the Mpheni Defenders team, being tested against the best team in their country now. You want to see that from a team in the lower leagues to come and give the performances. I thought there was going to be a 7-0 score.
You did say in your predictions, Jabu said more than 4 goals.
Yeah, but after seeing how the structure was in the first 5 minutes, I could tell that it's going to be a very difficult match for Mamelodi Sundowns, simply because you can see that they know what they're doing. The coaching is there. Even the first goal when they scored, the back four at the back, you could see the conversation between them, that they know what they're doing. They don't defend facing their own goals, which is a positive when you look at a team that is defending, and that's why Jabu is calling them Mpheni Defenders.
And I mean, you look at a player like Tashriq Morris being the only player that still made it into the starting 11 this afternoon after having started against TS Galaxy. He gets sent off. Let's speak to that as well, because Mamelodi Sundowns, just a quick one, this is their 8th red card this season.
Yeah, I think it's a worrying factor because if you will need the whole squad, and they need to be more disciplined. I think the coach needs to address that one.
Yeah.
Indeed, and of course we did see that. But let's speak to some of those key points we saw coming in through this clash. And starting from the first 45 minutes, we saw that opening goal coming in from Mamelodi Sundowns nice and early. And if we can perhaps speak to this one, it's the man that's eventually sent off in the second half, in Tashriq Matthews, as early as the 8th minute.
This is the first.
Yeah, I was about to talk about this back four. When you see them when the ball is wide, see the communication that they do in there. You can tell that everybody knows their roles. It's just a matter of finding that balance of saying where do we open the space, where do we going for a cover. Because this ball here, it is the one that killed them because they overcompensated on the other side to cover and cover where Kudisani was one. And it's supposed to be at least a fullback and a winger just to cover Kudisani because of course he's good like that.
I think it could assist there from Osels. I think he did well because Usuboni there's a spaces between the central defenders, and instead of Adlali Kodisang, he won two back, he played for himself and why roller back to Matthews. And Matthews now he should have been on the other side of the player, but because of the experience, player, that's why it was so difficult for the defender to defend it. Normally, I shall find a finder instead. But it was a good goal.
A goalless tender coming through from Tashreeq Matthews, his 7th goal of the season. And of course, we then take a look at how they find in the second goal in Mamelodi Sundowns. And this time around, it's Batusi Obas.
Yeah, but it was coming from a training ground. And what I liked about that is the set piece that normally Mamelodi Sundowns don't score from set pieces, but when you see this, you can tell that there's a lot of work that they're putting in the training ground. I love this because we used to call it a bait. A bait move is when one midfielder runs as if he's going to receive, he doesn't receive, and then he opens this space because every move that is happening, the defenders have to react to it. And that's why you see this moment where you find players free in the box.
And quickly, Abbas Lapa, he still had an option to play it Matthews or Kodisang running from the space, but he had that confidence to take a chance, and it was a good strike, good goal.
All right, and of course, that is how Mamelodi Sundowns found the second goal, which was the second and final goal that we saw in this encounter. And it is a clash in where they managed to score their 51st goal against an amateur side. And that makes it 9 out of 9 victories for Mamelodi Sundowns when they come up against an amateur team. A man that found the 51st goal for Mamelodi Sundowns. Let's hear from him now. We are going to take you through to the man of the match coming through from this encounter.
And man of the match now is Batusi Obas with his first goal at Masantawana. Batusi, congratulations, first goal, defender, how do you feel?
Thank you, my sister, for this opportunity. First of all, I'd like to thank the man above because of I'm nothing without the man above, you see. So each and every day you have to praise him because of each and every day is a blessing to be alive. And then obviously when you wake up or the man above wake you up, you have to grab that opportunity and then continue to working hard because of there's nothing that comes easy in life. Because of this is a big brand, you can't just come here and then relax. Now you are in a big team here, so that you want to relax. Thank you.
So looking at your performance, I mean, you were alongside Mali Khoza as well as Libusa at the back. How would you analyze how you guys combined at the back, and are you happy with how you worked as a defensive unit?
First of all, it hasn't been easy for me. I've been in an awkward situation, so obviously I have to trust in the men above, and then obviously I trust them. We have been working together since last season, since I was here. We can combine with any player that he's playing at the back, and with me, it's easy for me to combine each and every player that is here in our team.
How important is it for Sundowns to go further in this competition?
For us, it's important for each and every game because of you are a big team. So each and every game you want to play our A game. So you mustn't take any team for granted. So we thank the man above for this opportunity, and then we thank the coaches for giving us this opportunity so that we can raise our hands to show him that we are ready for any match that we want to play.
Congratulations, Batusi.
Thank you very much.
And it is, of course, the 21st time since the 1996-7 season that Mamelodi Sundowns progressed into the quarterfinals of the Nedbank Cup. We know last time around they were losing finalists, but Masanda Wana looking to go all the way this time around and lift the trophy. But first, let's talk quickly to the man of the match in this clash, Batusi Obas.
It was an honest performance from Batusi. which I believe as a midfielder he still needs to improve in certain elements of his game. But today I thought he played a matured game where he didn't commit so many fouls, he didn't lose ball too much. So for me, I think it was a fair opportunity for him to say, I want to be in the starting lineup come Wednesday, because they're playing a league match, which is going to be very difficult because they're going away from home.
Yeah, it was a decent performance from him. Bekangena Spanish isibhaya man namhlanje. You understand? Yeah, bekangena Spanish isibhaya, but he managed to control that midfield much better. But Jobu Shompa Asho is my worry is his discipline. From even Nagubafana, he gets cuts. Even Nago Sundowns, he gets cuts, even red cards for that matter. So I think if he can sort out the discipline in terms of not getting a red card, izomenza ukuthi akhule, because la sekaqala abasefomini khona uthola icard and then it takes him back out for 2-3 games, and then it's difficult to get back into the team again.
Indeed, and that was the man of the match in this Nedbank Cup clash with Batsusi Obers. Let's now hear from Ukochi Obuchilo Purabatu, the man who is the chairman and also the coach of course, Mpheni Home Defenders. And he said that they needed no motivation to come up against Mamelodi Sundowns, a team he supported since he was a youngster. Unfortunately, this afternoon, they fell short.
And it ends 2-0 here at the Lucas Masterpieces Moribe Stadium. Mamelodi Sundowns booking a place in the round of 16. Unfortunately for Mpheni Home Defenders, they go back to Limpopo, and with that defeat to Mamelodi Sundowns, I'm joined by the coach, Coach Purabatu. Coach, unfortunately a defeat this afternoon. How do you feel about your team's performance though?
To be honest, I'm very proud of the boys. They put up a good fight. I know during the week, people were talking about the power line score of 24-0. But we say we're not going to do that. We're gonna go and play. As I said, we're not going to pack the bus and allow them to detect the temps. We're going to play. It's just unfortunately we considered two soft goals in the first half, and then we have to chase the game for the entire 45 minutes in the second half. But unfortunately we didn't get one. But we hit the post twice, which I think is for the learning curve for the boys to find themselves having to play against Mamelodi Sundowns and lose 2-0 in a competitive game.
Coach, you hit the post, chances were created, but unfortunately some just not connecting and getting you those goals. It could have been a little better there, don't you think?
Yes, I think the most chance which we do pressing in the first half and then we failed to score, that hit the post. If we had scored that one, it was a good moment to score because it was around 44-45 minutes. So that we're going to give the boys more courage when they go to the second half and try to fight and try to get the second equalizer.
Coach, unable to break that curse of round of 16 in the Nedbank Cup, as the chairman as well, what do you do going forward to just grow your team even more?
We're an ambitious team, and our plan is to go to the Motsepe Foundation or PSL in 5 years. And then this is our third season in the Motsepe Championship, ABC. So I think we still have 2-3 years to go. So if we look back what we have done so far, I think the team has achieved so much because they've been in the national playoff twice, they've been in the last 16 twice. So we don't have to give up. We keep on going and keep on going.
Hard luck, Coach, and good luck going forward.
Thank you very much.
Coach Buchilo Purabatu there, just saying that he's proud of his team and the effort that they put out to lose 2-0 to Mamelodi Sundowns in a competitive game is a good scoreline.
Yeah, I think Mele will be proud. They were very disciplined in terms of their structure. Mama defender, although they didn't hit Mamelodi Sundowns that much going forward, but I think they will take this performance to their lower league because Mau number 5, Ulikia, Shilo, and number 1 leader are only 5 points and they have a game in hand. So I think this experience will help them a lot.
And they take away key learnings from this encounter, Philpo, because you look at the fact that the last time they played out in the Nedbank Cup, they were knocked out at the same place by Chupa United by the same scoreline, which is 2-0.
Yeah, the coach is building from something. I think this experience will help them in their lower league, of course, as Jabu say. But for me, I think the players will never see the game the same. You know, they will change in how they approach the game. I'm sure they will be motivated going to their matches because they feel like, no, it's Babambi, 2-0. Let's bonila lamajita bashaya banye 5-10 So for now, they will take this as a proud moment. You know, even when they will wear their jerseys on the street, they will feel like, no, we belong somewhere. So I think this will help them, to get promoted in their league.
Indeed. Let's now go to the winning coach on the day. This was his 10th encounter out at Mamelodi Sundowns, and his record now reads 9 victories and just 1 loss. Here's Coach Miguel Cardoso.
Coach, congratulations, victory 2-0. Earlier on in the week, they asked you about results versus performance. You got the results? Are you happy with the performance?
Well, nice question. I think that first half was quite interesting. And a little bit more of offensivity, of sharpness. We could have even reached more goals. And then at halftime, I just told them that we should have more capacity to control the game with the ball in order to use the spaces that then will appear naturally on the pitch. And unfortunately, we started the second half in a horrible way, losing 1 player by a red card that's absolutely excused. There's no sense to receive red cards or double yellows in this case by mistakes, because we don't need the level of the game doesn't imply that. But football, that can happen, and we have to cope with the situation as a team, and I think we did it well. It's very important to understand that we made the substitutions in order to eventually arrive on the goal on the third one, but being secure at the same time. And because when we have a 2-0 and the opponent from 1 out of nothing ball scores 1 goal, emotionally it's very difficult to cope with that moment. And I didn't want the team to leave that moment, and myself I also didn't. So we closed the game and finished, job done, mission accomplished, and look for the next one.
Coach, coming into this game, you made a number of changes. You brought in Doane, you brought in Malikoza, and just looking at the overall team performance and the opportunity to stake their claim in the team, are you satisfied with that?
All the players need to be ready to give their maximum. I think Doane was good in the first 60 minutes after he had struggled with effort. So he started making mistakes in the last, mostly in the last 20 minutes. He started making mistakes. And but I think it was due to the physical condition. Mali made a normal game according to the level that he has. In general, the team was okay. We just coped in the right way with the moments of the game, not exposing ourselves too much. It was important also not to make a big effort in the end. So I think that mission was accomplished, and looking forward for the next step of the competition.
And Coach, just lastly, on Wednesday, Marumo Gallants, you need to travel to Bloemfontein, and the schedule will only get even tougher looking at the calendar for Sundowns.
Yeah, the calendar is absolutely crazy. The other day I was listening to a coach in Portugal saying that sporting coach, so difficult. We have an average of 6.2 matches per month, and he said maybe only in Brazil this happens in the world. And then I sent him a message, my friend, you come to South Africa because you're gonna play 8. Yeah, we have 8 games in 1 month. I don't know how it's possible. It should not be possible. It should not ever happen. It's not natural, not proper for the health of the players, and also for our health is not proper, because we don't live, we survive.
Thank you so much, Coach, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Coach Cardoso saying they didn't want to do too much in this game and they did just enough for that victory, but also touching on those mistakes that Sundowns was making, particularly for him, he says, in the last 20 minutes of the game.
It was always going to happen when you're playing a team that is not the regulars. So the synergy will always be interrupted, because certain moments momentum. So of course he says the win was important in this instance, because you want to go to the next stage, because there's a competition. But the other thing that he mentioned is he's trying to bring everybody into the team, because players always want to be wants to feel wanted. Jabu will tell you, if I can't play for 2 games, you need to give me a thorough explanation on why I'm not playing. But when he is bringing everybody together and giving them minutes, that for me, he'll have harmony amongst the players, and that will help him even in the last stage of the league where he'll need players.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's a cup game. You're playing against a lower division team. Very sometimes, as former players, it's not easy. Uba sharp, the way Uba sharp makona week in, week out, because I can't go 100%. Bulaba ngabashaya ngilibele ngihamba ngo 60%, but I'm sure he will be concerned ngala mistakes lama mispassing lawa amancane Sundowns owayenzile, where they looked like they were giving opportunity for Defenders to get a goal. That's where I think he will have a problem. But overall, it's not easy to play a lower division team.
No, it's not.
It's not that easy.
All right, and we take a quick ad break now, Ms. Jiga and Jemba. We're careful. We take a look at those massive talking points coming into the second 45 minutes. Mamelodi Sundowns that are through to the quarterfinals of the Nedbank Cup following their 2-0 victory against ABC Mutsipe League side Mpheni Home Defenders. Gents, we look at the second half coming into Lomdlalo Lona, and as soon as we get into the second half, we see Tashreikh Matthews getting his second yellow card and a red card and being sent off. So let's first perhaps show our viewers at home in the 43rd minute, he gets his yellow card before the halftime break. It then goes into the second, and perhaps the gents can speak us over these points over here.
Yeah, when you pull a jersey in a new way of football, of playing football, you get caution, and this is a first yellow card. We can easily say when you pull, you get a yellow card. And unfortunately, because he's not that a kind of a player who marks a lot, he will forget about this yellow card. Yeah, and there was no need for him really to pull this jersey, but
it wasn't a high risk type of situation.
Not even a danger. I mean, he's still in a center line. But then with this, for me, I think that's a straight red card because he's stamping on top of somebody's ankle. So that's a dangerous play. Yeah.
Guys, it's dangerous play, but also Nyamzuela, man, because
he's not that kind of a player.
He's not a rough player, you know, and most of the time, as a former winger, man you mark, that's why we bang on phone in a boxing. Because Tina about to dribble as well. So I can, you know, Nyamzuela Lana, because that's not his style, but it was a dangerous play. It deserved the red card.
Deserved a red card there. Tashreikh Matthews getting his second yellow in the game in the 43rd minute, and then another one in the 46th, just coming back from the halftime break, and he gets sent off. And we then look at the opportunities that then came in, and we look at the 62nd minute. This is Matumba, a man that scored versus Hungry Lions in their game, getting an opportunity here. Once again, just speaking to the quality and not being as clinical as one should be.
Yeah, I think this was a good action from Mpheni Defenders, you know, just to put the ball in the box. And I've realized that this is how they play. In the first half, they put so many decent balls in the box. To see this, that tells you that they know what they're doing. It's just a matter of finishing the product, because if you can check again, they have a beautiful moment. They just need to have somebody who can get the end of it.
And unlucky there for Mpheni Home Defenders, unable to open their scoring on the afternoon, and Dennis Onyango, they're just making the save. We see them get a good set piece as well in the 70th minute, this Mpheni Home Defenders side. And once again, just speaking to the same thing we've been saying the entire afternoon, had it been better opposition, possibly should have been a goal here for the side.
Defense Sundowns caught nipping lapana, abebalele lapana. Yes, poor finish there from Ubuisi. Ubuasi. I think he should have done better there, because if he tried I connected across. But he tried la goalkeeper vale khona ku near pole, it was not going to be possible. But Joba Sishino futhi lack of experience. But again, for Mamelodi Sundowns lapaya, coach noma lapaya na ku post match interview izozenza ngathi nice. He's going to shout at them. You can't allow such, and it's a halfway of the season. You can't afford in a team like Edala who Premier League or in the cup to have such mistakes. That there bebalele lapha bekusebusuku lapha kusasa.
Bekusebusuku beumnyama. But you look at this Mpheni Home Defenders side, they go into the halftime break trailing by 2 goals to 0. They come back in the second half, but they seem like they've got a different type of bounce in their step. They seem like they believe that 2-0 scoreline is a very dangerous scoreline in football. We need one, and perhaps if we get one, we can get a second, because they came out different in the second half.
You see, with players who played in this level, they will tell you that when you are a team, dominance like Mamelodi Sundowns, if they don't punish you and they give you this lifeline of giving you 2-0, as players, it could change the rumor of it as well, and we're still on it. And that for me, I think because you don't know which one is the danger man, then you play in their heads. So when you find a team like this, make sure that you teach them the lesson early. Make sure that you give them 4 early, and then you demoralize them. Certain moments, yeah, so that they can see that they are not in the same level. And this one, I think, it's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. And I believe that when I say a bad thing, you'll think you give them a false hope. But when a good thing is...
You make them believe it's the cup of dreams. Can come true.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's a good test for them to say, no, at least we come out of Trechville with a 2-0. That for me, I think it's a good lesson for them. And I think if they take this performance out of here to their league, I think they'll be promoted.
And the final chance we saw coming through from Mpheni Home Defenders in the second half, rather. In a second half that really just had mostly them asking the questions. This here again, crossbar for the second time in the game.
Yeah, firstly, Joba Mshilo, Nana Bexipsu. Nana Bexipsu for Sundowns defense because big, my Zala short. There was
and
no one.
Look at this.
Normally,
Jabu. Is there an offside here? Because the flag went up for an offside.
There, before he kicked the ball, there was no offside. Maybe Uchache, the second touch low, that's my view. But the first kick, the first one which I recall, it was clearly onside. But again, poor defending, no communication from Onyango, la permanent defense. Isandowns kahle man isindile not ukuthi bebanga lose game, but isindile ukuthi banga concede in this game.
All right, let's of course remind you what's happened this week in the Nedbank Cup. Round of 16, we now know which 7 teams will be going into the draw. It is SuperSport United, Stellenbosch FC, Durban City, Orlando Pirates, and of course Maruma Gallants, Kaizer Chiefs, and finally Mamelodi Sundowns being the last team to go through. And we'll wait for the PSL to let us know what will happen with Royal AM, Milford, as well as Kukune United. The draw tomorrow at 6 p.m. Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kota my player Sundowns down was my eyes. Why?
You don't think they put up their hands?
My eyes.
Okay. Also, Jabu, shuffle the pack, my eyes. This was the opportunity to